And the word of the Lord was made to me in the 9th year, and in the 10th month, and the 10th day of the month. And he said, Thou son of man, write to thee the name of this day, in which the king of Babylon confirmed in his attack against Jerusalem today. And thou shalt say by a proverb, a parable to the house of Israel, stir to wrath, and thou shalt speak to them. The Lord God saith these things. Set thou a brazen pot, set thou it soothly, and put thou water into it. Take thou a beast full fat, gather thou together the gobbets thereof into it, each good part, and the hip and the shoulder, chosen things, and full bones. Also dress thou heaps of bones under it, and the seething thereof boiled out, and the bones thereof were sodden in the midst thereof. Therefore the Lord God saith these things. Woe to the city of bloods, to the pot whose rust is therein, and the rust thereof went not out of it. Cast thou out it by parts, and by his parts, and the lot fell not on it. For why the blood thereof is in the midst thereof. He shed it out on a full clear stone. He shed not it out on earth, that it may be covered with dust. That I should bring in mine indignation, and avenge by vengeance. I gave the blood thereof on a full clear stone, that it should not be covered. Therefore the Lord God saith these things. Woe to the city of bloods, whose burning I shall make great. Gather thou together bones, which I shall kindle with fire. Fleshes shall be wasted, and the setting together shall be sodden, and bones shall fail. And set thou it void on coals, that the metal thereof was wax hot, and be melted, and that the filth thereof be welled together in the midst thereof, and the rust thereof be wasted. It was sweated by much travail, and the overgreat rust thereof went not out thereof, neither by fire. Thine uncleanness is abominable, for I would cleanse thee, and thou art not cleansed from thy filths, but neither thou shalt be cleansed before, till I make mine indignation to rest in thee. The Lord spake, It shall come, and I shall make it. It shall not pass, neither I shall spare, neither I shall be pleased. By thy ways and by thy findings I shall deem thee, saith the Lord. And the word of the Lord was made to me, and he said, Thou son of man, lo, I take away from thee the desirable thing of thine eyes in vengeance, and thou shalt not wail, neither weep, neither thy tears shall flow down. Wail thou while being still. Thou shalt not make mourning of dead men. Thy crown be bound about thine head, and thy shoes shall be in the feet. Neither thou shalt cover the mouth with a cloth, neither thou shalt eat the meats of mourners. Therefore I spake to the people in morrowtide, and my wife was dead in the eventide, and I did in the morrowtide, as he had commanded to me. And the people said to me, Why showest thou not to us what these things signify, which thou doest? And I said to them, The word of the Lord was made to me, and he said, Speak thou to the house of Israel. The Lord God saith these things. Lo, I shall defile my sanctuary, the pride of your empire, and the desirable thing of your eyes, and on which your soul dreadeth, and your sons and your daughters which ye left shall fall by sword. And ye shall do as I did. Ye shall not cover mouths with cloth, and ye shall not eat the meat of wailers. Ye shall have crowns in your heads, and shoes in the feet. Ye shall not wail, neither ye shall weep, but ye shall fall in wretchedness for your wickednesses, and each man shall wail to his brother. And Ezekiel shall be to you in a sign of thing to coming. By all things which he did, ye shall do, when this thing shall come, and ye shall know that I am the Lord God. And thou, son of man, lo, in the day in which I shall take away from them the strength of them, and the joy of dignity, and the desire of their eyes, on which the souls of them rest, cast away the sons and the daughters of them. In that day, when a man fleeing shall come to thee, to tell to thee, in that day soothly, thou shalt open thy mouth with him that fled, and thou shalt speak, and shalt no more be still. And thou shalt be to them into a sign of thing to coming, and ye shall know that I am the Lord.